All right, awesome. Thank you very much for checking in with me, Antonio. I just want to say I love you. I appreciate you very much. I care for you very much. And I definitely think that this is definitely our time to definitely reflect on a lot of things that have been going on out there, as well as where I'm at currently. So I'll do a nice little literally game. So I literally just came in to the dispo. I just picked up a nice little cartridge or what have you. I think it's been treating me really well. And so I just got some really cool knowledge from some guy who is also doing the same thing as well. He was a representative for he's just a representative for the whatchamacallit, for a brand of pomade that his organization is fucking making or what have you. So give me a nice little sample, and then sure, you can go first. And so with that being said, it's like yeah, it was just really nice to talk to him. He really acknowledged me and acknowledged my crystals, acknowledged the good vibes. And then on top of that too, there was this notion of one of the ladies. I guess she wasn't feeling too well, but she had mentioned a couple things. So prior to this vlog right here, I had vlogged already, and I had vlogged a solid 15 minutes, and there was basically no audio. And so that one was black and white, and I definitely chose to make that one on a grayscale because that's how I felt. So during that vlog, I was talking about how I'm in the transitional state of just this. It's a transitional state. It's definitely a transitional state where I'm based. I'm like definitely confused, and so that's where my darkness is at. And then I talked about where my light is, and that's where the effortless creativity comes in. And this is where this is essentially one of the mediums for that, you know. I just want to say that it's one of those things of reflection where a lot of things that I do speak or how I'm feeling, a lot of people out there are going through the very same thing or a version of that. And so that's where like it really resonates with me. One of the words that I had chosen today was the word alone, but it was that scenario of a student having a hard time with the test, right? Where it's like you don't know some of the answers, and then you get frustrated, and so it's like you feel kind of helpless because you don't know what to do, but you know you're being tested. And so I kind of feel that way in the sense of like being tested out there. I do have a lot like on my mind. However, I feel like that really adds on to the inactivity. And so I had also talked about the inactivity. And how that can definitely just cause more harm than good. And what I mean by inactivity is like those moments of where I just get lost in thought and my body doesn't do anything. Like my body isn't like on the go. My body isn't doing anything. Isn't doing anything. And so with that being said, it's like I really have to be aware of that and really see what that is or what's causing that, or how I can go about working this inactivity into inactivity such as this one, which definitely is for me it's definitely a showcasing of the outlets that I do carry or I do have. And so I find it really intriguing that I have a ton of outlets or what have you. I have a lot of outlets, and so this idea of being bored for me comes definitely from the inactivity. I really want to just really acknowledge the fact that I've been putting in a lot of work, and so one of those workings was dealing with an individual who was doing things on purpose to be able to slow down the process. And so being able to identify that really allowed me to identify my program, and how well I work my program, how well I understand my program, its necessities and things of that nature, and its changing nature. And so being able to go through the process, try to help out this individual, didn't work out. However, with that being said, because it didn't work out with this individual, it really completed the entire process. It left me with a solid understanding of what my program is, what it needs, its relevancy. So because I was in this whirlwind, is what I'm gonna call it. Because I was in this whirlwind, it left me with more items built than more items destroyed. And so with that being said, it just gave me even more confidence, it gave my team more confidence, and it also a lot more trusting, just a more trusting sense where I had asked for trust in being able to handle these things or handle these situations that we're getting ourselves into. And sure enough, it really worked out. And so that's definitely one of the biggest accomplishments, or a secondary accomplishment. I want to say it's my first, to be honest. Secondary to providing structure or understanding, or just kind of setting out the idea of structure into play and or my process. So today's Friday. I've been asked to go and do my bar crawling duties tomorrow. So I'll just take another opportunity to be able to talk to people, see what's going on, and then just kind of immerse myself in that idea. I do want to live out downtown, and it's something that I'm looking into, especially after the acknowledgement that I had with the lovely lady from the tunnel. And so she had explained a couple things, or just like beginning points for me to be able to start my own search. For example, I've been working on my finances, so kind of clearing up my credit so that I have solid credit to be able to finance my own place, and or have the ability to find a place without a co-signer. Then comes in being able to pay off all of my dues, and then also investing in the crypto era. So being able to have kind of like a trusting scenario in there and getting that established. So there's a few tools that I'm going into. My storage area has been already set up as well, and so all of those cool little trinkets and or I want to say hobbies and or talents that I do carry, those are all stored as well. And so today I had picked up not only this camera so that I'm able to do my vlogging, but I also picked up my couple of journals, and so I'm going to be doing a couple of those tonight. I did have and prepared myself a little bit in regards to some of the goodies. And then again, it's this whole notion of definitely putting in more work. Just had a beautiful trip with the father and the son, and it was one of those trips where I was able to be comfortable in a setting, and then have the family be very comfortable as well. Gifting them not only some wizardry but the tools as well, and then understanding that there's a lot more out there. There's a lot more connected and things of that nature. There is a lot of like a really solid acquaintances that can definitely, help out this process, and being able to understand that. And so for me, being able to do this vlog and kind of taking that outlet and just kind of showcasing that outlet, because this in itself is just one outlet to the many outlets that I do carry. And so this one for sure has been quite the adventure, I would like to say. The vlogs in itself are amazing, and it really allows me to see where I'm at, the language that I'm using, my presentation, facilitation style, or even just my mannerisms. I think definitely you can tell the motivation or the amount of motivation. So when I do listen, you know, I'm definitely listening to my own verbiage, to my own body language and things of that nature. And so this medium really allows for that. And what I just had this conversation when I was picking up my herbs with my bud tender. I'm not sure what she had said. And or what she was relating to. However, what really caught my attention was that it sounded very similar to something that I was speaking of within my blog. And so even though the first one didn't have audio on it, the second one not only is in color, but it also has audio, or hopefully has audio. But the idea is that I do like to see things not only in their grayscale but also in color. And there's a lot of imagery that comes into play, especially with the tarot cards and or whatever it is that I'm seeing out there, that's including numbers and or animals and like all that lovely jazz. Is like it's a keen attention getter for me. And I think it's a beautiful thing, because a lot of those things don't necessarily need to have meaning, but however, in the state of mind that I'm in, I feel like everything is a piece of art. You know, there's something definitely going on. There's definitely a story being told and or need to be heard. And so part of this medium definitely allows for that. And so with that being said, being able to share my story, being able to share kind of like where I'm at, where my mind's at, and eventually sharing the tools that I'm utilizing, especially with the last camping trip that we had. We were alongside with Ray Family, and those things definitely took play, where I got to practice a lot of the tools and practitioner work that I had. And I feel like a lot of the healing that I needed to get done was being done through the healing of others. And so it's one of those notions where I do want to reach that level in a state of sobriety. I know my tools and my wizardry definitely take into play, and whatever it is that I'm taking, and definitely partakes in how I'm being seen, how I'm acting out there. Or what I definitely learned is the whole notion of context high, right? So the idea of inviting Lucy along and having Lucy affect not only myself directly, but I've definitely learned that there is a indirect context high that definitely happens. Not only are you vibing, but your vibration is so high in the sense that not only are you feeling it directly, but it's being felt around you. And so I want to take all those things into consideration, into play, this amount of work that we're being done. And I think this weekend or this week or these last couple weeks have definitely showcased that. This whole notion of like, I do have all the tools. Okay, I do have all the tools. When we learned from the Father and the Son, the manual is there. Whether we like to see it or not is how well involved we can get. And then overall, it was the action, is taking action to be able to do whatever it is that I need to do. I need to take